Jessica here. Well, welcome back to the Jessica Show. Here's a look over the CDC updates, and you're going to hear it first. There's a frustration about the COVID-19 that's really gotten out of control. Okay, I mean, look, it's just all the numbers that we're having so far, and it's not going away anytime soon. Joe Biden was saying that this COVID-19 won't be here to stay. After all, it has been. It's been going on for almost 2 years. But here's what Dr. Wincy has to say. Now, the CDC has to say. It says Dr. Michelle Walensky is assuming her new role as the director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention last January with a vow to restore trust in the agency. But last fall, several months into the job and after a series of missteps, Walensky sought out military training. For months, Walensky has met privately with Pontemilla Democrat Bill constituents made in Galway to improve her communication skills and countries to do so, according to a person familiar with the previously unreported assassins. On Friday, Walensky will hold the CDC's first independent mailing briefing since the summer after deciding abrupt in the water this week that she wanted to take questions head on. According to a person familiar with her decision to hold the briefing, it comes as an agency is facing a barriers of criticism over confusion, streaming from its new guidelines on isolation for people who test positive for COVID-19. Beyond Walensky's personal message struggles, the leader has faced criticism for months over its at times confusing guidance surrounding the pandemic, with one former Serum President Biden administration official saying the agency appears to be overthinking its communications. Scientists with the CDC have also grown increasingly frustrated with Walensky uh, handing on public health guidance. As CDC scientists told CNN, according to the scientists, Walensky's largest craft to do guidance with the help of a small circle of the top advisors expedited the transformation process of Washington's science fit, vetted by experts at the CDC who would in turn also consult with outside public health parents and experts. The director, a well-regarded and influential disease expert with no poor government experiences, is now responsible for explaining that decision and other COVID-19 guidance, both in public and in briefings with top White House officials. During Friday's briefing, Walensky said that she is working to improve the quality of the agency's communication with the public. We're in an unprecedented time with the speed of Omicron case rising, and we are working very hard. We were working really hard to get information to the American public and balancing that with a reality that we're all living with, Walensky said. So that's what it stands for. That's what I'm talking about, folks. That is what I'm talking about. Let me tell you what, I'm not here to make any concerns. I don't blame what the CDC. I don't blame the CDC guidelines for real. I don't blame them. So now it is what it is. You gotta think fast. You gotta think everybody for that's coming out for sure. I'm not one about. Not one. Now, the White House and CDC scientists frustrated by CDC messages, and it's not good at all. I'm gonna see this right here.
About how the CDC is making some decisions and complaints about how CDC guidance is then communicated. These sources cite Walensky's updated isolation guidance this week as a clear example of what they see as CDC messaging bubbles. Our chief White House correspondent, Caitlin Collins, is with us.
Now we got breaking news here, and the breaking news is let's take a look here. Let's listen to Captain Collins.
Into the agency. The CDC had been weakened essentially by the Trump administration, these accusations of politics driving the science there when Donald Trump was in office as president, and that is something she wanted to fix. And now, as we are approaching that 1 year mark, you see Americans questioning the CDC and its guidance on this ongoing pandemic now more than ever, especially with those changes that were announced in recent days when it comes to what to do if you've tested positive and you're isolating at home now that we have the surge in cases due to the Omicron variant. And so we've learned from sources that starting last fall, understanding the fact that the CDC had a series of messaging problems, fumbling the messaging on several big decisions, Director Walensky started taking media training, hoping to improve her communication skills. So when she steps out in the public eye, as she did earlier today, in the first independent CDC media briefing since last summer, she can better communicate the changes to the CDC's guidance and the improvements, the updates that they make. But they are still plagued, John, by questions about what's going on. And this is not just coming from critics outside the administration or from health experts outside the administration. Sometimes it's coming from her own peers inside the White House, because you've seen officials raise questions about why that latest guidance on when you can leave isolation after you've tested positive didn't include a recommendation to take a rapid test. That is something that other health officials in the administration thought should have been included. And it's something that CDC Director Walensky has defended in the days since. And today on the call, on this briefing with reporters, she did say that she wants to restore communication and make it better at the CDC. Of course, whether or not that happens or if it's too late for people to restore their trust in the CDC is a big question, because even the CDC scientists have said the process of putting that guidance together at times, John, doesn't really go outside of a small circle of Walensky's advisors. And so then by the time it's out and people are raising questions about certain ways it was announced, certain ways it was implemented, it's too late to have that process where other people could have weighed in and said, maybe this sounds more reasonable, or maybe this is a better way to explain the science to people. And so it's just been a massive issue within the CDC for months now when it comes to messaging. It was last year on masking, it was when the Delta wave hit over the summer, and now it still is, unfortunately, in 2022.
Wow. This is something else. It's just getting ridiculous in here. Getting ridiculous out here. People out there wearing masks and didn't wear a mask. They were unmasked. They were not masking up. And they were not doing this. And this is all continuing. This is all bull BS. No doubt about it. The CDC update has just all the way. And the scientists frustrated. The CDC scientists frustrated by CDC message because then what they could do about it. But this is all real from that point. I can't say this before. I think that was about 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, last summer, and now this 2022. What is happening? How can we do? Where do we go from here? 2022. Where could we go from here? This is absolutely up to something. But you test positive, it's an isolation. You test positive, and then you stay quarantined for 5 days. You stay quarantined for 5 days and test positive. But they said that the COVID-19 is here to stay. But Joe Biden says he didn't think so. But then after that, it is what it is. If we're going to get sick and then you test positive, you stay quarantined for 5 days, and then you feel better. And now we're on 62.4% of fully vaccinated. But that's what's happening today. That's what's happening every time. Everything sucks. Okay, that's all for now for this Joseph Kershaw. Please, if you go out there, please wear a mask, wash your hands, stay 6 feet apart. And hey, you'll be okay. All right, I gotta go. Take care. Have a good weekend. I'll see you Monday.